Hello, and welcome back. Today we have Platinum Review, number 64, Ratchet Clank, Going Commando. Originally released in 2003 for the PlayStation 2, Going Commando is a third-person platformer and shooter developed by Insomniac Games and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. I have to admit, I somehow never noticed until now that the logo makes a 2, although the number is not an official part of the title. An HD remaster, developed by Idle Minds, was released in 2012 for the PlayStation 3, and it is this version that I played. Set shortly after the events of the previous game, the story begins with a TV interview with the galaxy's newest heroes, Ratchet and Clank.
Welcome back to Behind the Hero. Tonight's heroes are the duo who recently restored peace and order to our galaxy, Ratchet and Clank. So, gentlemen, tell us about your latest incredible adventures.
Well, as you can imagine, we've been pretty busy. After Drek's defeat, there were parades, press conferences, fancy dress balls.
And the wiener roast at Al's.
Oh yeah, that. And then things started to slow down a bit. After that,
There was the grand opening at Groovy Lube.
Right. I think that was last week.
6 months ago.
We're still pretty busy, but in a more, domestic sense.
Yesterday, I flushed out my radiator core.
I guess no one needs a hero right now.
Miss Noodlebottom, I found our man!
With Chairman Drek defeated, life has been slow and boring for the duo, but things are about to change.
What the?
I'm Abercrombie Fizzwidget, founder of the Megacorp Company in the Bogon Galaxy.
Bogon?
I'm sorry to incapacitate you, but our entire galaxy is in a very precocious situation. I must humbly request your sustenance on a mission of dire urgitude, a mission of superfluous peril, a mission of unequivocal imperitude.
Did that make any sense?
So, you need me to go on a dangerous mission in another galaxy.
Indubitably! A few days ago, this top-secret biological experiment was stolen from our testing laboratory by this dupliferous criminal mastermind, and I need you to get the experiment back.
We'll do it!
Hired by Abercrombie Fizzwidget, the bizarre founder of Megacorp, Ratchet begins training to get back in fighting shape. After a few weeks of preparation, Ratchet heads to the planet Aranos, where the stolen experiment was last seen. The player then takes control of Ratchet for the first time, and is reacquainted with the basic platforming and movement mechanics, as well as the essential techniques for enemy engagement. Equipped with a rapid-fire lancer and explosive gravity bomb, Ratchet possesses some new heavy firepower, but also brings with him his trusty Omni Wrench for close-quarter melee strikes. New to Going Commando is a game-changing mechanic that will become a staple in the series, and that is the ability to strafe while firing your weapons. With this technique, Ratchet makes his way through the lab and finds the stolen experiment, but he is quickly confronted by a masked and clumsy thief.
I see it's time to update my security forces.
Whoa, no, hey, no, look, I'm just here to fix the transflexor coil.
Nice try. Give my regards to Megacorp. Finish him.
Ratchet pursues the thief outside, but is too late, and to make matters worse, each planet will now contain hired mercenaries, courtesy of the Thugs for Less cronies.
Thugs for less. If it ain't broke, we'll break it.
Right. I'm in the market for some security.
You bring the cash, we'll bring the thrash.
Good. I need your best men to meet me at these coordinates.
After escaping the lab, Ratchet reports back to Fizzwidget, who has a lead on the mysterious thief.
Ratchet checking in, sir.
Incredulous! I didn't expect to hear from you again, so soon.
There was a slight problem. The thief escaped with the experiment, and I have no idea where he was headed.
Not to worry. I just received an emission which may lubricate the matter.
Do you have any maps for this quadrant of the galaxy?
You bet, mister! We got galactic maps, 3D maps, fold-outs, cutouts, maps to the stars, and their homes!
Sorry about that. I forgot my wallet. Could you take care of this?
Perimeter defenses deactivated.
You forgot your change!
I'm on my way.
This takes Ratchet to the planet Uzla. As before, each planet will have multiple different missions to complete and paths to follow. It is best to explore all areas of a planet before moving on, although at times you will have to leave and return later. The in-game map will show where you have already been to help find unexplored areas of interest or secrets. Before taking on the hostile inhabitants, a Megacorp vendor can be utilized to purchase new weapons and ammo in exchange for bolts. This in-game currency can be found by defeating enemies, smashing crates, or destroying environmental objects. Special nanotech crates will restore your life bar with a completely reworked health system. Defeating enemies will now also reward experience points. While Ratchet doesn't have a numerical level, each upgrade will increase his maximum health meter. In addition, how much damage Ratchet takes is determined by the quality of his armor, with upgraded and more expensive armor suits providing more resistance. Similar to the main XP bar, each weapon will also have its own XP bar, with a new, more powerful version unlocked when it reaches the max. After some brief exploration, Ratchet finds the first gadget of the game, the Dynamo. This will temporarily activate specially marked devices to aid in platforming and reaching new areas. Utilizing the Dynamo, Ratchet enters a nearby Megacorp building, but the thief is nowhere to be found.
Ratchet, come in. Are you there?
Copy, Mr. Fizzwidget.
Listen, I have some new information on our experiment's wherewithal. The thief was indemnified at Megacorp's Mactar Resort. Also, the thugs have towed a moon-sized jamming array into Mactar Resort orbit.
Should I take it out?
A Formulus! It's disconfabulating our annual Galactic Gladiators broadcast. See for yourself.
Ask yourself, are you man enough, hero enough, insane enough to step into the ring with two of the fiercest warriors in the galaxy? If you answered yes, you're a big, fat liar. But that's okay, because Megacorp is bringing Galactic Gladiators into your home for a special Mega View event. So what are you waiting for? Call now to bring Chainblade and the V2 Brawler into your living room. But put away the fine china. The Galactic Gladiators, only on Mega View. Call your provider now.
Chainblade, huh? I've got the coordinates. Ratchet out.
Fortunately, Fizzwidget provides another possible lead and information on the Galactic Gladiator games. Before leaving, Ratchet explores the rest of the planet, and along the way, uncovers another helpful gadget, the tractor beam.
Welcome, welcome. If everyone could take their seats, we can proceed with today's demonstration. First, I'll need a volunteer. Anyone? Excellent. Your name, sir?
Ratchet. Hey!
And there you have it, the Megacorp tractor beam in action. Let's give it up for our volunteer. Sir, how about taking advantage of our show special?
The tractor beam allows Ratchet to move specially marked columns to access new areas. Now, Ratchet heads back to the ship and prepares for Mokhtar Resort.
Yes, may I help you? I said.
Unfortunately, as Ratchet approaches his destination, enemy ships arrive and immediately attack. Similar to the gummy ship battles in Kingdom Hearts, a new gameplay mechanic is introduced in which the player must engage in Star Fox-like space fights. At times, destroying enemy ships will award Raritanium. This valuable resource is another form of currency that can be spent later on for ship upgrades, such as new weapons and enhanced shielding. While I preferred the grounded gunfights, the battles in space were pretty fun and a nice change of pace, although they did overstay their welcome at times when I would rather just get to the next planet and blow things up. With the enemies clear, Ratchet lands and heads for the Thugs for Less jamming array, which is blocking the broadcast of the Gladiator games. Once the transmission signal is clear, FizzWidget calls Ratchet with yet another mission.
Good work, my boy. You are proving to be invaluable in this underwear. Anywho, it appears the thief is now under the protection of Thugs for Less. But I may have found a way for you to insinuate their operation.
Is it dangerous?
No. Actually, yes, it is.
Good.
Take a look at this.
The wind in your hair, the sun on your skin, the bugs in your teeth. We are the Desert Riders.
Before I became a Desert Rider, I didn't fit in anywheres. I had low self-esteem, bad breath, and a thing for ladies' undergarments. But these guys understand me. They really do.
Yeah, I'm just here for the bake sales. Oh, yeah, I also make these cute gloves for all the guys.
So if you've got what it takes, use this temporary membership to enter the most grueling hoverbike race in the galaxy. Win it and become one of us. Desert Riders.
Before leaving, Ratchet decides to test his might in the Gladiator arena battles, but to get there, countless enemies must be fought through. It turns out, these encounters are just the fine-tuning and practice he needs to prepare for the gauntlet. The battle arena offered several different challenges to overcome. Some of these were simple wave-based rounds of enemies to defeat. Some were boss battles, and others were alternative fights with restrictive and challenging modifiers. Completing the first battle rewards a new gadget, the Electrolyzer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first and, only winner of the Gladiator Games, this guy. You're now eligible for our championship series. Come back and fight again for big cash prizes.
The battle arena was a great way to rack up a bunch of bolts, XP, and weapon upgrades, but each time you completed a challenge, it was worth less the next time, so there was a limit to the rewards. The hectic and carnage-filled arena was somewhere you could easily get lost in, for hours at a time, and was my favorite part of the game.
Returning to battle is everyone's favorite gladiator. He slices, he dices, and carves up a mean dish. Please welcome Chain Blade. The furry guy is on a rampage. From the planet Cerebella comes a colossal creation. Stand back for the big and the brainy. Let's give it up for the B2 Brawler. Oh, he'll be feeling that in the morning. This guy's on a rampage. The B2 Brawler is down and out. Chain Blade has been defeated. I've got my money in the law back with Bug. Goodbye.
Once you have had your fill of the arena, Ratchet returns to the ship, utilizing the electrolyzer to repair broken circuits in a tricky minigame mechanic. These start off relatively simple, but can get quite difficult later on. As Ratchet approaches his ship, a strange transmission arrives, showing that the masked thief has kidnapped Clank.
Hey, this would make a nice souvenir for Clank. Yeah! Hey!
You have no idea what you're involved in. Return to your own galaxy immediately, or this will happen to you. Or this will happen to you. Farewell.
Enraged, Ratchet heads to Megapolis to rescue Clank. In my playthrough, I actually traveled to Barlow first, but several areas are inaccessible without Clank, so I'll skip that for now. Within the lively city of Megapolis, Ratchet will uncover the first secret item of the game, a platinum bolt. Similar to gold bolts from the first game, platinum bolts are hidden throughout each level, so be on the lookout for these as you travel. Shortly after, Ratchet encounters Slim Cognito, a black market weapons dealer who just so happens to be able to take that platinum bolt off your hand, in exchange for a special weapon upgrade or lock-on mod.
The weapon you want modified, put it in the slot.
Oh, I get it. You make weapon modifications.
Yep, I can take your puny little weapon, and with a few, tweaks, I can turn it into a powerful piece of equipment. Look, you want me to hook you up or what? I can't hang around here all day.
As you continue to find platinum bolts, be sure to return to Slim Cognito for additional upgrades. After powering up, Ratchet blasts through anything that stands in his way of rescuing Clank, but soon, the leader of Thugs for Less confronts Ratchet himself.
Greetings, morons. Since my employees did such a lousy job at taking care of yous, I thought I'd come and handle things myself. If you want someone killed right, you gotta do it yourself. Hey, watch it. I just waxed this thing. Back up! I need backup!
With the leader out of commission, the path to Clank's apartment is clear. Inside, Ratchet finds not only a sweet Easter egg of Jak and Daxter, but also a few of his old gadgets.
Hey, my old swing shot and grind boots.
With these, he continues his search for Clank. After several intricate gadget-related puzzles, Ratchet spots Clank and frees him with the electrolyzer.
Final digit of pi is...
Clank? Clank, can you hear me?
Ratchet? Where are we? I must have dozed off.
Don't sweat it. Let's just find a way out of here.
I believe that air duct may offer our only way out.
In order to escape, the player now has to control Clank as he makes his way through a nearby air duct. Similar to the first game, Clank possesses a basic punch attack with limited range and power, but he can find microbots to do his dirty work. New to going Commando are a few new bots for Clank to control, such as a bridge bot and lifter bot. With the help of his robotic minions, Clank is reunited with Ratchet, and they team up once again.
Way to go, Clank!
Nothing to it.
You did great. Now, let's go get that experiment back.
Now that Ratchet can maneuver more freely with Clank's thruster or helipack, it is time to return to Barlow. One of the best features of going Commando is that most of the gadgets and items acquired in the first game carry over, creating nice linear continuity that rewarded the player for their previous play. This is rewarded even further by a select number of free returning weapons if you have a completed save file of the original game.
Did you know that I've been with Gadgetron since the beginning?
So you sell these gadgets?
Darling, they sell themselves.
Although these weapons are not as powerful as the new ones, it was a really cool feature that I greatly appreciated. Jumping across a large gap, Ratchet and Clank encounter a sensitive member of the Desert Riders.
Hey, who let you in here? Get lost before I flatten your robot into a hubcap.
Touch him, and it's Plasma City!
Oh gosh, you didn't have to yell. Why did he have to yell?
Hey man.
I can't hear you, la 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 la. Only the little guy.
Sir, it is okay. We are your fellow Desert Riders.
You are? So you understand my sensitivities?
Absolutely, sir. We just came here to race.
Well, you can borrow my Bluebell, so long as you're gentle. She just needs a few repairs.
Hang in there, my brother. Bluebell is in good hands.
In exchange for repairs, the Desert Rider lets Ratchet borrow his Bluebell hoverbike to enter the competition. The hoverbike races were a faster and more refined version of the hoverboard ones from the original game, and reminded me of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the N64.
Now this is pod racing.
Throughout the race, Ratchet can acquire some firepower to take out the other racers. These will definitely be needed as the competitors are highly aggressive and will easily knock you off course. Be sure to avoid wrecking whenever possible, as this will set you back, making it very hard to catch up. Utilizing turbo boosters is essential to maintain constant speed for victory. Winning this first race will reward a biker helmet and uncovers a rendezvous point to explore.
Great racing, buddy. Here, take this helmet so the guys know you're one of us.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-oh. Incoming message from the boss. Attention all Thugs for Less employees. First of all, whatever slug brain's been eating all the choochie bars in the break room, better quit stuffing his face, or else... Hey, turn those lights off! It's bad feng shui. Next, our space rendezvous point has been moved to, and listen up, knuckleheads, the Felsen system in Sector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're no good with numbers, find a buddy to help you. Lastly, the company picnic is this Sunday. Don't forget to bring your own juice this time. Hey! I saw that, Cletus! You just earned yourself a write-up. Don't worry. The boss only yells because he loves us.
Yes, sir. I do feel his affection.
Did you see that broadcast?
Not really.
We should scope out that rendezvous point.
Yes, we might intercept some stray transmissions.
Before leaving, the hoverbike course has additional challenges that can be completed. These become increasingly more difficult with the competitors shooting back at Ratchet and shortcut paths opening up, but is a great way to earn some extra bolts for spending. However, like the arena, the rewards are less with each subsequent completion. The toughest challenge was by far avoiding enemy missiles, as they could lock on and ruin your run in an instant. There was nothing worse than being in first place on the final lap and getting shot down and having to start over, but with enough persistence and practice, all challenges can be completed. Before heading for the Thugs for Less rendezvous point, Ratchet and Clank explore the planet further and discover an eccentric scientist trapped within a block of ice.
It works! My invention works!
Huh?
It's called the Therminator. It fires charged thermal pellets that can thaw an ice block or freeze a body of water. Gadgetron will pay me millions.
Hey, I don't know how long you've been frozen, but I don't think Gadgetron's operated in this galaxy for years. Everyone buys Megacorp products these days.
Hey, maybe you'd like to buy it.
The Therminator can thaw ice or freeze water, adding a new layer to the platforming and exploration. With Barlow explored, Ratchet and Clank head for the rendezvous point, but upon arrival are immediately ambushed in another series of space battles. Taking out the enemy forces uncovers another transmission, revealing the mysterious thief is beginning to lose their patience.
Oh yeah, I've got mad skills. Yeah, a difficult challenge, but one that a trained commando...
Hold on. I'm intercepting a transmission.
You idiot.
Uh-oh.
I'm paying top dollar for your protection, and your moron employees are off at some picnic!
Hey, that was a bonding exercise.
Enough! I'm at the pickup point now. If your men aren't here pronto, you can kiss this contract goodbye.
Oh yeah? Well, you can kiss your you know what I mean. Dang it.
Did you trace that?
Coordinates locked in. We are headed there now.
Following the coordinates, Ratchet and Clank travel to Canal City on planet Notak. While they travel, a brief documentary shows Captain Quark's fate since the events of the last game.
The man, the myth, the legend, the loser. Captain Quark, once the idol of everyone in the galaxy, has finally hit rock bottom. After his humiliation at the hands of Ratchet and Clank, Quark sold bogus merchandise he claimed were Gadgetron products. But a key defect in this product, the personal hygienator, caused severe irritation in sensitive body areas and alerted authorities to Quark's scam. Behind the Hero will return after these messages.
As they land, Ratchet and Clank are too late, as the thief is already gone, and they break the fourth wall momentarily to blame the player.
Too late again.
We always seem to be a bit late. Why is that?
Well, let's check this place out and find out where he's headed.
At times, while exploring, Ratchet will find a nanotech boost that instantly increases his maximum health. Through gadget-heavy platforming, Ratchet and Clank explore a nearby chemical factory for clues on the masked thief. With the help of some local robots, a new lead is provided, but as always, the information isn't free.
Perhaps these robots can assist us.
Excuse me? Have you seen any masked weirdos?
I think I had better do the talking. A masked customer picked up an order not long ago. Recently, they received a new transmission from him, and they are willing to show it to us for a small price.
Hello, yes. Hey! Yes, I need to order 2 more containers of sulfuric acid. Oops. Better make that 5 containers and 4 containers of liquid hydrogen. Oops. Better add 6 crates of nitroglycerin and... Look, just give me double that! And I need it delivered!
Before heading to the new coordinates, Ratchet and Clank explore some more, fighting their way through the city. After several intense enemy encounters, Ratchet uncovers a cryptic transmission from Slim Cognito, advertising a secret location for black market dealings.
Psst. Got a ship that needs, improvements? Worried about getting caught? At Slim Cognito's, your secret is safe with us. Whether it's weapons, shielding, or a new hyperspace module, we'll hook you up quickly, cheaply, and most important, quietly. So next time you're in the market for some, legally ambiguous refashioning, remember the name. Slim Cognito's. The only inspections we pass are yours.
Slim Cognito's Ship Shack is its own place to travel to, and in exchange for raritanium, Slim will provide substantial starship modifications, such as enhanced shielding, powerful weapons, or color palette swaps for a sleek new look. Ratchet and Clank then head for the planet Siberius, hoping to finally confront the shadowy thief. Siberius is a frozen tundra full of hostile and dangerous foes that can deal massive damage in short order. Ratchet must carefully traverse the snowy terrain while moving with purpose to not fall into the water below. Getting submerged in the icy water will instantly turn him into a frozen popsicle. In pursuit of the thief, Ratchet boards a giant transport and fights his way towards the front. The enormous vehicle is engulfed with enemies that Ratchet must battle through to finally confront the thief, who is about to launch the stolen experiment into the abyss of space.
You've lost, Megacorp. Take your imperialistic eco-fascism to another dimension. Say goodbye to your Frankenpest.
Come on, Clank!
Too slow, you corporate lackey.
The incompetent thief is taken out with relative ease, and the experiment is recovered.
You had us worried for a moment. Do you suppose we should stop him?
Not worth it. We got what we came for. Let's just get that little guy back to Mr. Fizzwidget.
Ratchet? Spank? Is that you?
We've accomplished our mission, sir. The experiment is safe and in our possession.
Why, that's cutaneous! Absolutely munificent! You two are a galuptious team!
We were glad to assist, sir.
We just need coordinates to our next rendezvous point.
Of course. I'm on my way to give a tour of Megacorp's historical mining site. Here's a little pack talk on the fragility.
When we first arrived, we found a planet completely overrun by rainforest. To better accommodate the local wildlife, we transformed this impassable jungle into an easily navigable desert. Ever the technological pioneer, Megacorp invented the automated management team, thereby eliminating costly upward mobility. And all the while, making your life richer. Megacorp Manufacturing and Mining. Our march continues to the tune of progress and profitability. Call Investor Relations today.
Ratchet and Clank agree to meet up with Fizzwidget at Megacorp's mining site, but when they do, things don't go quite to plan.
That was our ship.
Don't worry about it, little fella. It's insured. So, do you have the, delivery? Ridiculous! Come, gentlemen, there is precious little time. Just sit back and relax, boys. How about a little flying music?
He did that on purpose.
Nah, he's just easily distracted.
Yeah, well.
Come on, let's see if we can find a way out of here.
Ratchet and Clank are accidentally launched from the ship and left stranded within an underground cave system. The one positive that comes from this dangerous, lava-filled cavern is an upgraded Omniwrench. Otherwise, Ratchet and Clank proceed to the exit, where they are immediately confronted by the clumsy thief, whose identity is finally revealed as a female Lombax named Angela.
Hand over the experiment now!
I can't do that.
You have 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa! He's a she.
This changes nothing. Where's the experiment?
We have returned it to Mr. Fizzwidget.
Oh, you've just put the whole galaxy in imminent danger.
But
I don't have time to stand around explaining it to you. If you have any intention of fixing the mess you've made, watch this.
Oh, no! Good thing that wasn't little Susie. Here at the Megacorp testing facility, we make sure the products you buy are safe for you and your family. These are just a few of the products we've rejected to help keep you safe. The Tiny Tot Slingshot, the Nuclear Mousetrap, Self-Wedgifying Underwear, and the Lawn Ninjas. So the next time your toaster doesn't explode in your face, say a little thank you to the Megacorp testing facility.
Unfortunately, Angela doesn't stick around. Without saying anything more, she heads off, leaving Ratchet and Clank stranded without a working ship. As luck would have it, though, a local mystic claims to be able to repair the ship using crystals found in the surrounding desert.
Hello, sir.
Hey, that's my ship!
Possession is an illusion. Do not all things belong to the cosmos?
No. That's definitely mine.
This vessel suffers from wounded Cha. Only the power of the crystals can hope to heal it.
The crystals are simple enough to spot amongst the sand, but are heavily guarded by powerful creatures. With the needed crystals obtained, Ratchet and Clank return to the Mystic, who despite his quirky and bizarre nature, is incredibly capable, and fixes the ship on the spot.
Yes, the crystals are speaking to me with a single voice.
That was pretty impressive.
Bring me more crystals, and I'll pay you cold hard bolts.
Huh?
Although the ship is ready for travel, the Mystic is willing to trade large sums of bolts for the remaining crystals spread throughout the desert. There were 100 crystals in total to find, so even though this detour took a good chunk of time, it was well worth the vast payment of bolts. Once the desert is cleaned out of crystals, Ratchet and Clank head back to the ship, cash in, and head for the testing facility.
Hey, see if you can find anything worth watching.
Welcome back to Behind the Hero. In yet another setback for the embattled Captain Quark, the Galactic Court ordered him to pay 6 billion bolts in damages to citizens suffering from personal hygienator syndrome. Only 2 days later, Quark was arrested trying to flee to Poketaru. The one-time hero, now full-time Zero, was placed in custody awaiting trial. But the next day it was discovered that he had escaped, flushing himself to freedom. We will return to Behind the Hero after these messages.
This site is highly protected by numerous patrolling guards who will engage in gunfights without restraint. Overcoming the hostile enemies and environmental hazards sees Ratchet find a classified terminal, but the connection is dead. To restore power, Ratchet must utilize a nearby glider to reach the other side of the area. This presented a new gameplay mechanic that was a bit tricky to control at times, but was smooth sailing once you got the feel down.
Dr. James D. Fullbladder reporting on Megacorp Experiment number 13. This update is strictly classified. If you are watching this, you're fired. Early thinking held that the specimen was entirely docile in nature. Even overt provocation failed to incite it. But the late Dr. Putrid's son observed that natural levels of monster propanase in the experiment's bloodstream were triggering some remarkable changes. Attempts at neutralizing the specimen's violent tendencies were met with limited success. Our surviving staff recommend that the experiment be destroyed immediately at Megacorp's deep space disposal facility.
Yellow.
Mr. Fizzwidget, you're safe! Sir, brace yourself. We just saw a video of your experiment eating its handlers. I repeat, it eats its handlers.
Ah, yes. Low fat, extra foam, no sprinkles.
Mr. Fizzwidget, do you copy? Anyone handling the experiment must exercise the utmost caution.
No, decapitated. What? Oh, yes. Exercise my frontmost cushion.
Sir, your experts recommend that the experiment be liquidated. We will meet you at your deep space disposal facility.
It turns out, the stolen experiment, despite its cute and cuddly exterior, is actually highly dangerous and violent, but Fizzwidget isn't taking the threat seriously. Exploring further sees Ratchet encounter the Mathematician, a Thugs for Less crony with a taste for numbers.
Nobody, I mean nobody, gets by the Mathematician.
I guess all the good names were taken.
Watch your mouth, Zero, before the Mathematician subtracts your head from your shoulders!
Sir, as a fellow number cruncher, could I please ask what this is all about?
That moon's where we divide losers from winners before adding them to the Megacorp games. There's a challenger up there ready to reduce you to nothing!
He offers Ratchet and Clank an invitation to the Megacorp games, but to gain entry, they must battle the group leader in a giant mechanized fight. This epic clash felt like a Jaeger fight from Pacific Rim, with large-scale wreckage and carnage. Giant Clank can punch, fire missiles, or throw bombs to deal damage. Extra ammo and health can be found on the ground or by smashing through buildings. As if the Thugs for Less leader wasn't a big enough threat, he will summon countless minions to harass Clank and eat away at his health. It is essential to take these out whenever they pop up, and grab health along the way.
Bring it on!
I'll get you, Ratchet. It's the last thing I do.
With his decisive victory, Clank earns he and Ratchet access to the Megacorp games, and they head straight there.
You're going to the Megacorp games!
Welcome to Megacorp Games, sponsored by Megacorp. Okay, Megacorp contestants, get ready to grapple with our Megacorp Gladiator team. And if you survive that, enter the Megacorp Battle Arena with our Mega Spider Bot and our Mega Death-defying Mega Cage match. Then open the throttle for the all Megacorp Hoverbike race, brought to you by Team Megacorp Racing.
Hostile indigenous population not owned, endorsed, sponsored, supplied, advocated, or even liked by Megacorp. Approach at your own risk.
The Megacorp Games. Keep it mega.
The Megacorp games consist of both arena battles and hoverbike races, but getting to them is not without its obstacles. I decided to start with the arena battles, and to reach the far-off site, Ratchet must negotiate with the same sketchy arms dealer who sold him the Rhino in the first game.
Hey, used to going to the games?
Yeah? What's it to ya?
Whoa, take it easy, Chief. I ain't looking for no trouble. Just an honest man looking to make an honest buck.
I sincerely doubt that.
Hey, I ain't the one trying to get into a sold-out arena. You're gonna need this levitator to get in there.
Are you ready for the main event? Introducing one of the fiercest gladiators in the galaxy, Ratchet and some metal guy. They'll be lucky to survive against the toughest gladiators in the galaxy. Let's get it on!
The first arena battle is a straightforward, waves-based gauntlet. Emerging victorious rewards the gravity boots. These act similar to the Magna boots from the first game, allowing Ratchet to stick to surfaces and even walk upside down. But now, Ratchet can jump while wearing them. With the gravity boots, Ratchet can compete in even more arena battles, such as a new cage match. During cage matches, Ratchet must jump high above the stadium into a large cylindrical tube to stick to the walls. From here, he will battle enemies before safely landing back on the ground to claim his prize. This time, the reward is a new gadget, the Infiltrator. This device can disable electrical locks with a new circuit-based minigame. As before, the arena consists of several additional challenges to complete for extra bolts. These include standard matches, cage matches, boss battles, and even the Impossible Challenge with an unknown number of waves. Ratchet takes on and completes every one of these, except the Impossible Challenge, which he will have to come back to later.
Introducing the terror of Tarantia. It's shocking. It's amazing. Give it up for the Arachnoid. The Arachnoid is at the end of his rope. And the prize goes to Ratchet and the Metal Guy!
With the arena battles complete, Ratchet and Clank then head for the hoverbike course.
Can't see my own hand in front of my face without these.
No problem. So, how do I enter the big race?
Well, you got the helmet, you're in. Easy peasy. The prize this time is some kind of special boots. I could use those myself. They'd go real nice with my leather chaps.
Similar to before, these high-speed pod racer-like challenges pit Ratchet against numerous competitors, with the reward for first place, the Charge Boots. The Charge Boots allow Ratchet to boost at high speed along the ground to travel quickly. Now, the reward for completing challenges is a large sum of bolts, so Ratchet and Clank race through them all. After dominating the Megacorp games, Ratchet and Clank head for the Deep Space Disposal Site, where they agreed to meet up with Fizzwidget. Unfortunately, the password Fizzwidget provided causes the defense system to attack Ratchet and Clank.
Come in, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Sir, you gave us an erroneous password.
Implausible! Unless, is this Tuesday or Wednesday? Anyway, sorry to have missed our meeting, but I was called away to film a commercial for our weapons facility.
But sir, what about the
commercial? I was great! Here, watch this. Megacorp keeps you warm, keeps you healthy, and now keeps you safe. Hello, I'm Abercrombie Fizzwidget, and I'd like to welcome you to the new Megacorp Weapons Facility. We offer guided tours to show you how our weapons are made. Our highly trained experts spend their day creating the latest in heavy-duty weaponry to protect you and your whole family. So stop by today and bring the kids. Our tours are both informative and fun.
After narrowly escaping the deep space battle, Ratchet and Clank search for Fizzwidget at his weapons facility. Despite hosting tour groups, the area is extremely hostile, with aggressive enemies all around. As usual, Fizzwidget is nowhere to be found, but an incoming transmission from Angela provides some new details on the stolen experiment.
Anyway, I'm just calling to warn you that Thugs for Less have taken over my flying lab.
But were the thugs not working for you?
Not anymore. Apparently, someone's made them a better offer. Here, watch this.
Why is Billy sad? Is he cold, hungry, or maybe just...
Oh no! No, take it away!
Lonely? No! Introducing the Megacorp Protopet. Your child will shriek with joy when he meets our adorable friend. Want to play ball? So does the Protopet. Need a partner for tag? Go find the Protopet. Up for some cops and robbers?
Help! Police!
So is you-know-who. Just ask Billy.
No!
The Megacorp Protopet. Stop by Planet Bolden and get yours free from Abercrombie Fizzwidget himself.
There will be disastrous consequences for the entire galaxy if that monster is distributed.
We must get through to Mr. Fizzwidget.
To stop the stolen experiment, Called a proto-pet, Ratchet and Clank decide to look for Fizzwidget on planet Bolden in a last-ditch effort to get through to him. In preparation for the journey, Ratchet explores the rest of the weapons facility and discovers a unique weapon, the Sheepinator, that can turn even the nastiest enemies into docile sheep. This will certainly come in handy, as Thugs for Less is no longer on Angela's side, as they have a better offer on the table. Their presence is immediately felt upon landing, with countless heavily armed foes everywhere. After blasting their way through anyone who stands in the way, Ratchet and Clank finally reach Fizzwidget. Only, this isn't the real Fizzwidget.
What the? This isn't Fizzwidget.
Would you like a free proto-pet sample? Available today.
Where is he?
Freeze, knuckleheads!
Oh, no.
The two of yous are under arrest for attempting to bump off Mr. Fizzwidget.
But this isn't...
Save it, Fuzzy. You're not fooling anyone. You and your metal buddy just earned yourselves a trip to our new prison.
Hey.
Sorry. I have thoroughly analyzed our surroundings, and I'm afraid that there is absolutely no means of escape. Except that.
Someone's got a girlfriend.
In order to escape confinement, Clank must venture out on his own to release Ratchet from his cell. Luckily, friendly robots can be found within the prison, which Clank commands, and once Ratchet is set free, they blast through the guards. For some inexplicable reason, Thugs for Less didn't seize Ratchet's weapons, which leads to their demise, and to make matters worse, they even leave an upgraded Omni Wrench just lying around. However, the prison does possess a variety of environmental hazards that pose quite a formidable threat. But Ratchet is up to the task as he and Clank reach the surface, where they receive an incoming transmission from Angela.
Ratchet, Clank, I hope this gets through to you. I'm transmitting from the Thugs for Less fleet. This ship just returned from a Megacorp distribution center, and I think I found the answer to...
Wait a minute. What are you doing here? Sending a message to your little pals, huh? Well, say goodbye, boys. Take her to headquarters.
Before leaving, Ratchet and Clank explore further and come across an old friend.
Ew. What's that?
Some dead-burned fool flushed this perfectly good Quark action figure. Sure, it's a little ripe, but look at that craftsmanship. There you go, pal. See you in another year or so.
What did he mean by that?
Following the coordinates from Angela's transmission, Ratchet and Clank confront the Thugs for Less fleet that occupies the airspace within the planet Gorn. After an intense battle, the enemy starships are neutralized, but Angela has been moved to another location.
Well, it looks like the thugs moved Angela out of this quadrant. See if you can pick up any transmissions on the deep space channels.
So you two hit the road and don't bother trying to find me, 'cause I've got wind. I'm like the wind. You never know where I might show up next. And I blow hard, and I can be cooling on a warm summer day. Well, you get the idea. Goodbye, morons!
Does he realize he has just transmitted his exact location?
If not, he's about to find out.
Thanks to the carelessness of the Thugs for Less leader, Ratchet and Clank have a new lead, and leave for enemy headquarters on planet Snivelak. This planet is heavily occupied with a deadly enemy presence, equipped with massive firepower and strong defenses, representing the greatest challenge yet for Ratchet and Clank to overcome. Determined to rescue Angela, Ratchet and Clank persevere through the countless waves of hostile forces, but waiting for them is the Thugs for Less leader, equipped with his giant robotic suit.
What's so funny?
Nothing, I guess. Prepare to die!
The ensuing boss fight was a long and tedious grind to slowly chip away at the suit's armor while shooting down incoming missiles and abandoning turrets just before getting smashed.
That's gotta hurt. Dance, Parker, dance! Can't stay still. Give up now, Ratchet. I'll spare you one day.
After a lengthy slog of a battle, Ratchet and Clank finally take down the Thugs for Less leader and free Angela.
I picked it out of Lizard Boy's pocket.
Log entry 4792. Returning from Megacorp's distribution center. I'm beginning to suspect that Megacorp has lied to me. The extra-large decorative paperweights being stored there might actually be an enormous supply of proto-pets. Which might explain why the whole facility is guarded by ravenous mutant creatures. Their warehouse ship may hold as many as 10 million crates, and with 100 proto-pets per crate, that could be as many as, 3.5 zillion proto-pets.
I swear that crazy old man is not the same person I used to work for.
Whoa. You used to work for Megacorp?
Yes, in the genetics division.
On the proto-pet?
On fixing the proto-pet's flaws. But to stop them for good, we're gonna need to break into Megacorp headquarters.
Break in? How?
I have an old Megacorp ID on my home planet.
We'll split up then. Clank and I will go to the distribution facility. You go grab the ID.
It turns out that Angela used to work for Megacorp on the Protopet, so they temporarily split up so she can retrieve her old ID badge, while Ratchet and Clank head to Megacorp's distribution warehouse to disrupt the release of the Protopets. The distribution site is a massive array of floating industrial structures, complete with feral and violent creatures patrolling the area. Unfortunately, Ratchet and Clank are too late, as a breaking news report shows a chaotic all-gone city, where the Protopet is already wreaking havoc on the locals. To make matters worse, the Protopet is also beginning to overrun Angela's home world, as the deadly creatures are spreading fast.
Angela Cross
has just sent you a galactic greeting.
Guys, if you get this message, please meet me on my home world. Just so you know, I found my old ID badge. I'm pretty sure we can still use it to infiltrate Megacorp HQ, but you're gonna have to hurry.
With Angela able to keep the Protopets on her planet at bay for now, Ratchet and Clank head for Algon City to save the locals from their Protopet invasion. On their own, the Protopet is a relatively weak and easy to handle foe, but when attacking in great numbers, they could quickly overwhelm Ratchet, dealing massive damage in short order.
Sorry.
With the city secure and the Protopets neutralized, Ratchet and Clank head for Angela's home planet of Grelban. Shortly after landing, Ratchet and Clank encounter another strange mystic, who requests moonstones to grant access to the nearby building.
Oh, man! It won't budge!
Violence is not the answer.
Can you move this rock, sir?
I am able.
And?
Patience, young one. For the rock to move, the forces of the universe must align.
So, can we make these forces align a little faster?
Ah, yes. The holistic resonance of moonstones may yet guide these wayward forces. Yes, your arrival with the moonstones is most fortuitous, for it is in this very moment that I am able to move the rock.
Gee, what a coincidence.
Thank you, sir. That was most helpful.
Your gratitude is comforting, child.
After completing his request, more moonstones can be acquired from the surrounding snowy fields in exchange for a large sum of bolts. This was another excellent opportunity to cash in quickly, but the moonstones were guarded by a seemingly never-ending supply of annoying yetis. These obnoxious creatures would pop out of the snow on a moment's notice and constantly swarm you, disrupting your journey and making the collection process a frustrating time. They were also quite bullet spongy and would eat away at your ammo. Rather than constantly going back and forth to resupply, I found it best to just ignore the Yeti's harassment as best as possible, smash and grab the moonstone, and move on to the next. At the very least, your hard work is greatly rewarded, with tons of XP, bolts, and a hypnomatic part to build a powerful gadget to control enemy robots.
Possessions are merely visions.
Alright, I've got an illusion of some moonstones. I'll trade it for a vision of that hypnomatic part.
You have learned much, young one.
Utilizing the hypnomatic, Ratchet and Clank infiltrate the Megacorp facility and battle through the complex to reach Angela's house on the other side.
now that you've got your ID badge, how do we take out the protopet?
Watch this.
Mommy, where do protopets come from?
Why, they come from Megacorp, dear.
That's right, Mrs. Robot. All of the protopets in the galaxy come from right here, in our factory. Your little friend is lovingly extracted from the original protopet. Each protopet is given a name and birth certificate that is unique. Our training system helps mold your pet into a wonderful friend that you'll cherish forever.
That factory is using the original protopet to produce all the others.
Exactly. If we can take out the original protopet, that'll shut him down permanently.
With Angela's ID badge, Ratchet and Clank travel to the Megacorp factory to find and cure the original protopet. This heavily fortified industrial site is teeming with powerful enemies, and numerous clashes of firepower will ensue. After countless battles through the factory, Ratchet and Clank finally reach the duplication room, just as Angela arrives on site. But before they can move forward, the terrible truth is revealed.
She is trying to tell us something.
Now that I've sold my 1 millionth hygienator, I can finance the comeback of the greatest superhero who ever lived, Captain Quark! All I need now is a new galaxy with a new fan base so I can rescue them from a new disaster!
But...
Sir, I do not understand.
Mr. Fizzwidget!
This is bad.
Smile, it's showtime! Citizens of Bogon, I am Captain Quark. I come to you in this, your darkest of hours. A living menace called the Protopet has been set loose in your galaxy. But fear not, Bogonites. I, Captain Quark, have caught the perpetrators. Yes, good citizens, these are the masterminds behind Megacorp's experiment with death. And now, with this, super electro gadget I invented, I will end the Protopet threat once and for all. Allow me to demonstrate. Mommy!
Does that helixomorph actually work?
It used to. I could probably fix it.
Come on, Clank. Let's get it back.
Courtesy of yet another Captain Quark betrayal, Ratchet and Clank must clean up his mess and fight the now gigantic and angry Protopet in the game's final boss fight.
It's okay. This is the real Mr. Fizzwidget. Quark had him tied up in a supply closet all this time.
Gentlemen, you have my most profound gratitude.
It was nothing, sir. I'm just sorry we couldn't get the Helixomorph back. Right. What do you suppose is wrong with it?
I don't know. It could take months of research and...
The battery isn't backwards.
Oops. Imbecilic to the very last. Down, boy.
With the giant proto-pet restored to normal size and cured, Ratchet and Clank successfully save another galaxy as the game ends.
Oh? It's okay. I can fix her. I promise.
A post-credits scene shows the continuing decline of Captain Quark and his unfortunate, yet deserving fate.
I just got done testing the full body vaccinator. I am personally sporting a smooth chassis, and there are no tags on my luggage. All right then. Catch you later.
Subject 23A, please report immediately for crotchetizer testing.
Well, duty calls. All right, fellas, nice and tight now. So you tested this, right? Oh, wait, that's why I'm here. Oh, one more thing.
And with that, the story is over. You now have the option of reverting back to before the final boss fight, or starting a new game in Challenge Mode. Challenge Mode allows you to carry over your weapons and upgrades to earn extra bolts, but in return, the enemies will be much stronger. For now, it is best to revert and tackle Challenge Mode later on. For the Platinum Trophy, the progression will be similar to the first game, with a few main categories to complete. The first will be to return to each planet, to find all of the Platinum Bolts. Some will be well hidden, others will be locked behind a tricky platforming or gadget-related puzzle, and some will be hidden within plain sight, but the path to get there is not so straightforward. Others will even be found during the Starfighter missions for completing the race without missing any rings. Once all Platinum Bolts are collected, you can return to Slim Cognito to purchase all weapon modifiers for maximum firepower. The second section of trophies will be to earn all skill points. Each planet will have secret objectives to complete, usually for an individual trophy. These can range from a wide variety of tasks, such as beating the impossible arena challenge, completing grind rail sections without taking damage, winning the slot machine jackpot, or completing hoverbike races within a certain time limit, just to name a few of the many skill points. In general, these were more tedious and frustrating than the original game. The hoverbike races were definitely a challenge, with the room for error severely limited. But some were just unclear on what exactly to do. For example, when destroying all breakable objects on a planet, it was difficult to know what distant objects counted towards the goal. Another annoying task was to defeat all enemies with just the wrench. This is because to access all enemies, you have to use the turret, and it is not clear that using the turret does not ruin the run. Sometimes, the objective would glitch out and not count at all. But the glitchiness could also work in your favor, as the skill point and trophy could be earned, such as defeating all enemies with OG weapons. This trophy popped when there was clearly still an enemy in front of me. Otherwise, these were not too bad with practice, just a bit more annoying and time-consuming than the first game. If you struggle with any particular skill point, a guide would definitely be useful. In addition to the planet-specific skill points, some are not unique to a particular planet. One of those is to maximize your health meter. This requires not only leveling up to the max with XP, but also finding the 10 special hidden nanotech instant boosts. The locations of these are not as well hidden as the platinum bolts, and most you will probably find naturally while progressing the story. The other general skill points are to obtain all weapons and upgrades, and to fully upgrade Ratchet's ship. To upgrade the ship, you may need to replay a few starfighter missions to get enough raritanium, but this wasn't too bad. The final set of trophies will be related to earning as many bolts as possible, and this is where challenge mode is an essential tool. While playing in challenge mode, defeating enemies without taking damage will provide a bolt multiplier up to 20 times. This will make earning bolts a breeze, and you will need a ton of them, as you have to acquire all weapons in the game, with the most expensive being the Rhino 2 and Zodiac, costing 1 million and 1.5 million bolts respectively. In addition, the Carbonox armor will set you back another 1 million bolts, but this top tier armor will absorb almost all incoming damage and is well worth the investment. To obtain all weapons in the game, challenge mode must be started to purchase Clank Zapper for another 1 million bolts, as this is only available in challenge mode and can't be purchased in the regular game. These expensive weapons are well worth the cost, as they inflict epic devastation on your enemies and are a ton of fun to use. If you are enjoying challenge mode in general and want to keep the carnage flowing, new mega versions of each weapon will be available for purchase. These highly powerful enhanced versions of the original weapons do cost a pretty penny, but the increased destructive force is well worth the bolts, and will aid heavily in ensuring you don't take damage to keep that bolt multiplier going. In addition, these can also be upgraded with XP one final time, making Ratchet the ultimate wrecking machine. Once all weapons are obtained, all platinum bolts are found, and all skill points are earned, the platinum trophy is nearly yours. The final step is to find and explore the Insomniac Museum. This secret area is only accessible once you have earned all skill points, but if, like me, you can't figure out how to get there, another entrance is possible. If you set your console time to 3 AM, the museum can be reached using a hidden teleporter. The museum is a really fun and interesting area any fan will love to explore fully. Here, you can read up on a variety of different things that didn't make it into the final cut of the game, and can even test some of them out. Overall, Ratchet & Clank Going Commando was an excellent follow-up to the original game that made several changes to improve the experience for the player. James Arnold Taylor takes over the voice of Ratchet, and would remain in that role for the rest of the series. This change came with a new and improved persona, as Ratchet was no longer douchey or selfish. His more serious tone accompanies the grit and maturity gained from past battles, an appropriate fit for the galaxy's top hero. The story was decent, with a good twist, but still jumped all over the place at times, with a few plot holes and random encounters that were strangely out of place, such as Giant Clank fighting aliens for no apparent reason. The cutscenes were improved, but still a bit choppy, especially regarding transitions. The ending boss fight was a bit anticlimactic and easy, especially when compared to the multi-phased, epic clash against Drek from the first game. However, the charming characters and hilarious jokes throughout made up for any flaws in the narrative. Where Going Commando truly shined was in the gunfights, as you could tell Insomniac was starting to find that sweet spot when it comes to gameplay. The enhanced combat mechanics, powerful upgradable weapons, and introduction of arena battles improved on the strong foundation of the first game, leading to them really hitting their stride with future installments. The improved character models and graphics looked great with the HD remaster, with vibrant environments and beautiful visuals. The hover bike races were a better version of the hoverboard races from the original game, and were definitely difficult at times. The controls were smooth, despite the high speed, with hard-hitting items at your disposal. But be careful, the enemies also hit back. The Starfighter missions were fairly decent and presented a nice change of pace and unique experience different from the usual gameplay. The puzzle solving and platforming was intuitive, yet challenging, with mechanics that fit naturally into the world, utilizing gadgets in new and creative ways. The game itself was larger and more immersive than the original, with more planets, more weapons, new vehicles and gadgets, an expanded health system with additional armor suits, starfighter missions, and customization options. Each planet had a unique identity and theme, with a wide variety of environmental hazards and obstacles to overcome. The new Levitator particularly shined as a really fun and easy to maneuver mechanic. As the game progressed, older weapons became less useful, encouraging the purchase of more powerful ones or to try something new. This forced the player to adjust their approach depending on the encounter, with a wide variety of strategies that adapt throughout the game. Relying on a single weapon or technique will slow down your progress, and testing all weapons and their unique abilities is a fun experience itself. In addition, the weapons from the original game were particularly weak, but they were a nice reward for those that completed the first game. In general, Going Commando was a step up in difficulty from the original, but in a natural progression appropriate for those that played through the first game. The enemies hit harder and can do a ridiculous amount of damage in short order. But with so many powerful weapons, Ratchet has plenty at his disposal to counter any foe. It just might hurt your Bolt bank account. There is ample mayhem and chaos to go around, but if you desire even more, Challenge Mode not only presented a uniquely difficult experience, but mega weapons put even more firepower in your hands. Going Commando took the solid foundation laid out by the original game and improved and built upon it in every way, setting the standard for the later games to build on even more, creating one of the best video game series of all time. This game is a must-play for any PlayStation fan that is an over-the-top, fun, hectic, and explosive adventure that will not disappoint. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for Platinum Review number 65.